Hi, so I'm gonna do another video that has nothing to do with makeup because I don't really care either way. Well, I know my last video was real popular. It's fine. So today I'm gonna do a story time video because I just thought it would be funny to talk about this. Not really funny, but like kind of sad actually, but like why not just talk about it? So this particular time, so let me just backstory real fast. So this is when I was like in elementary school. I want to say third or fourth grade, and it was around the time because we had people like there was this one time people broke into our house and stole a bunch of stuff, and I was like really like I was like third grade and I was like afraid to sleep. I was afraid to go outside because I was like afraid people were gonna come back in there. So it was like a year later maybe. That's why I say third or fourth because I can't remember which year it was or if it was a complete year. And I decided to do soccer. If you don't know me, I'm terrible at sports. I mean, like, I remember one time in elementary school, I thought that I had made a goalie. I was so convinced that it was called goalie and not goal, because that's just how great I am at soccer. So, I, like, tried out for ASO or whatever. I don't even think you can try out. I think you just automatically make it, but it was like, my team was already, like, late starting, and I was the worst one. I lied and I said I'd done soccer for like 2 years just because everyone else was like, oh, I've done soccer for like 5 years. And I was like, it's my first day, but I'll just go say 2 years because I don't want to be embarrassed. Yeah, probably not best idea because I was kicking it with my toe. If you don't know, you're not supposed to. Anyways, this one day I was like getting ready for my practice or whatever, and I guess it was like raining or like the storm or something. It was like really rainy outside. But like they canceled practice, but by the time practice came along, it was like nice out, I thought. Like it was cold, but like come on. So I was like all ready for like my practice. I was like convinced that we were still gonna have practice. We didn't. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna practice by myself. I was it was the very first time I felt comfortable going outside by myself because I used to be terrified to go outside by myself. Like every time a car would come, it'd be like I'd like freaking freak out whenever I'd see a car. I was always scared. So I was like confident. I went like outside my house. There's like a fence that's like facing the driveway where there's cars, and I was like in the front, not the back. I was in the backyard, but like the front part of it. And there was like we have like a shed, and I'd like take my soccer ball and like kick it on the shed like back and forth and whatever. And still, I was afraid of cars or whatever. So I'd be like, I was already paranoid. So I said in my head, like, oh my gosh, if like a car stops or anything, I'm like running inside, like, don't care. Like, my parents were inside, like, I was fine, right? But the gate that I was like facing or like whatever, so like the shed was right here, the fence was right here, and I was kicking it right here, and the street was on this side by the fence. And so I could see the cars or whatever, they could see me. And there was cars that were going by, and there was this one car, and I said to myself, like, if that car stops, like, to myself, I used to do this all the time, like, that car, like, stops, I'm definitely running inside, because it was, like, this creepy looking, like, it was, like, a white, kind of, like, beat up looking car, and it had, like, rust on it, and it was, like, it was just, like, looked like a older car, and was kind of beat up, and, like, just kind of creepy looking, and so anyways, I was like, yeah, it's definitely not gonna happen or whatever. And I swear, I don't care who says this, because I know it sounds like it's very hard to believe, but I swear, that car literally passed the house, stopped, came back, literally backed up, and I was like, maybe we know someone. I was like, kind of like convincing myself, like, it's fine. Like, obviously, it's just someone that thought they saw something. That's why they're backing up by my house. By the way, my house is the end house. There's no house. There's a house on the right side. There's no house on the other side. So it's like end house and this car over here. So if they were backing up, it was to be at my house or the one like farther away. So the car stops like where I was, like facing the fence, like on that side of the street. and looks at me. I swear to you, I mean, it was dark, but it wasn't that dark in the car. Like, I could see in. He was wearing a ski mask. A ski mask, I swear. And he looked like he opened the door. And as soon as that happened, like, I saw something in his hand. I didn't know what it was. I ran right inside and I just started crying. And I was like freaking out. My grandma was like screaming at me, like whatever. And by the time like my grandma like kind of looks outside, there's no one there. Like, that car's gone. Like, they left. And I was like crying, like, oh my gosh, that was terrifying. Like, he came out of his car. Like, you know, I was freaking out. Not because I thought he was gonna kidnap me or anything, but because it was just creepy and I was scared. Like, what was this guy gonna do? Kill me? I don't know. So my grandma calls the cops, and just live with my grandparents, and my grandma calls the cops and explains what happened. She thinks I'm just overreacting, kind of, like, it's okay, like, it wasn't a big deal, like, you know, I was paranoid already, so obviously it was kind of like, Lyric, you're fine. And I was giving the description, and I kind of like they had me like draw out what I thought the car looked like, and I still remember what that car looked like. I was always terrified of this car. Like, I remember it so perfectly. It was like a white, like rusty, like, was like, it looked like it had like all the paint was like kind of like rubbed off. It was like it wasn't like a shiny paint. It was like a rusty like looking paint. And so they had me like draw it out and describe what I saw and everything. And they continued to tell us that particular, like, have been looking for someone, like, they have like heard other instances with this particular like description, like, this person is known for kidnapping people, like, that description. They weren't positive it was that person, but the thought of that as a little kid, I was scared. You bet I wasn't going outside for a long time after that. I was never going outside again. Like, and whenever I'd like, there was this one time I remember, like, shortly after this, and I was just me and my grandma in the house, and I was doing chores or something. I was sweeping, and like, there's a huge window like in like my house, and it was like facing the street, like, or whatever, so you can like see the cars passing and like from the window. And I saw that car pass by, and I was like, oh my gosh, I saw the car. So me and my grandma jump in the car. We kind of like, we're gonna go see if we could like try to trace it, like see if it's like somewhere around. And we didn't find the car, but like the thought of that car, like, it knows where I live, like, it, like, I was just always so scared to go outside, like, especially the fact that people had just broken into our house like a couple months to a year before that. Like, I don't remember how much the distance was, but like, it's just terrifying. Like, I was always scared to go by myself. Now I don't really have that issue at all, because like, come try to find me. You know, I'm a big girl. It's probably gonna be less, like, it's gonna be a lot harder for you to try to get me, because like, I'm a lot of work to like try to lift. Just saying. I'm just saying. Anyways, that's my story. Probably have more stories, because I had some weird things happen to me over time. Yeah. Anyways, if you like this story, I'll do another one. I have some other stories, something to do. Yeah. I might even tell you the story of how people broke into our house, because that's an interesting story also. Very interesting story. Anyways, bye.